Hope that you guys are ready to get into the interview with SRAD Sports Radar. We're going to be diving all into the sports data world. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Welcome to Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
All right, traders, I hope that you guys are as excited to get into our interview. That's going to be coming on up. But before then, I'm going to really quickly dive into the overall market. Normally, we spend more time on the market today. Today, we'll be getting into our interview. But as you guys can see, the SPY topping out a little bit there, but a close above the 458.70 levels. So that's actually looking good for me. As long as it can hold there, shouldn't see too much of a retracement. We'll see what happened in the SPY and the overall market today. Utilities leading us up. Energy right behind that, and good stocks to trade right now. Lithium stocks making a big move. We've been watching these lithium players, and they're definitely getting a nice ride on up. We're going to keep a watch on our swing trade on LTHM and see if that can continue to move. But like always, keep a watch to see what happens. Today, we did get a good move in the metals and minerals, the strongest industry in the basic materials. So we'll continue to watch that. Now, that's enough of the market. I want to bring on one of my really good friends, one of the best writers that I know on Benzinga. Let's bring on Chris Katje. How we doing, Chris? Oh, the old mute trick.
Oh, the old mute trick. What's up, Mitch? Yeah, great to be back together with you. Super excited for today's interview.
Yeah, definitely, guys. We're going to get right into our interview in a short second. I'll go ahead and bring on Carsten. He's already in the back. Super excited. They've had a great day also releasing some earnings, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But you and I, Chris, we're big sports fans. I mean, that is something that you and I definitely don't lack in. And one area that we've been watching since the very beginning that the sports betting market started hitting and you know, with DraftKings really coming into the market and taking off, it was the sports data. And you and I had been looking at both of the companies in this space and really interested to see in how this develops. So what have you seen so far in the last couple of years that has kind of interested you to continue watching this space, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick winners in the sports betting space, right? Because there's so many sports betting companies on a state-to-state level. So one of the areas that you and I looked at is, you know, pull the curtain back and look at the companies, the thing behind the things, right, that we talk about at Benzinga. Who are the companies providing that data? And we have one on the show today, Sportradar, which provides that data for all these sports betting companies and also sports media companies, right? So you and I know there's hundreds and thousands of sporting events, and someone's got to provide that data. I mean, as someone who, you know, bets on sports, I mean, you can bet on pretty much anything now, including live, right? You can bet on who's going to score the next basket, even how many points are going to be scored. And that is only possible through the data that is provided from a company like Sportradar.
Yeah, I'll give you a firsthand example. The other day, I was opening up my, we'll say something with an M. I was on the betting platform, and then I looked into the bottom, and then what do I see? Data by Sportradar. I was like, I like this. I like this. We're going to have to check this out a little bit more. It's good to see them also into the platforms. Whenever I see that at the bottom, I definitely have been paying attention to that. I also been seeing kind of new analytics coming into it, like with Stats Perform, that partnership. It's really an interesting space. Let's go ahead. Let's dive right in it. When we return, guys, we'll get right into our interview. Like always, guys, do us a favor. Smash that like so we get this started the right way.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
All right, Chris, let's go ahead. Let's bring on our interview here. Let's do it.
Yeah, so everyone, welcome to the show. We have Sportradar CEO Carsten Koerl. Carsten, welcome to Money Mitch on Benzinga TV here.
Nice to see you guys. I've just followed your conversation, so I could listen to this for hours, guys. You should continue with it, and probably I can contribute a little bit to it.
Yeah, dude, you know, one of the things that has always blown me away is how, you know, when I first started watching sports, I mean, it was hard to even just get the miles per hour on the, like, kind of the screen at the top, you know, because I'm a big baseball fan. So, I mean, let alone get all the analytics that we get nowadays. So first of all, I'd like to thank you, because I know that your company has been one of the forefronts in MLB getting us that data. So looking forward to see what we can get into. I'm going to let Chris dive into some questions first. He has some good ones, and then I'll go ahead and jump right in.
Please go ahead.
All right, so Carsten, Sportradar reported quarterly earnings this morning. We had fourth quarter revenue up 41% and full year revenue up 39%. That exceeded the company's original outlook. So what were some of the key drivers that led to that beat over previous guidance?
Well, first of all, Chris, we smashed our numbers in all segments. All segments which we are reporting, we smashed it. That is a fantastic day for us. That's the promise which we gave when we IPO'd the business in September, that we simply will deliver. I'm very happy to see that the market is recognizing this, and we will continue to exactly do this. But if we are looking a little bit underneath and look to the segments, our worldwide betting business performed extraordinarily good with an extremely high margin. We had a 57% margin year to date on our biggest segment, that is every betting business outside of the United States. Our audiovisual business, that's the fast video feeds and the OTT platform, that enjoyed a growth more than 34% on a year-to-date base. And for this segment, we increased the profitability from a 24 to a 28%, which is really outstanding. And if we look now to the US segment, which is the third segment, the growth is a three-digit number. So it's more than 100% growth on a year-to-date base. We still lose money in the US, but we show exactly that the growth is so much bigger than the losses. So we are reducing the losses very, very quickly. And that is what we predicted and said, look, the market opportunity here in the States is so enormous. We have now 23 states online. We expect that 44, 45 might be the final stage. The big ones, the super states, are not in there. So that is a big tailwind for us. And if we drill now into the US segment, the thing which is really driving excitement is live data and live betting. We are in the very beginning of this. We see worldwide 80% of all bets are live. In the US, it's maybe 30%, depending on what sport. Baseball, for example, is a little bit bigger with live betting. It's a good live betting sport, but it's on the very beginning. And our products begin to work when it comes to live data. Live data is so much more valuable than pre-match data. And so that makes us very bullish for the upcoming quarters. We see very positive trends, and we see that our story gets very sound now also for the investors.
That's awesome. So you said you were listening a little bit to Mitch's and I conversation. We were talking about the overall sports betting market. We have this phrase here at Benzinga that our founder, Jason Raznick, uses, and it's the thing behind the thing, which is also kind of a term for picks and shovels, right? So how is a company like Sportradar the thing behind the thing for the sports betting industry?
Yeah, look, I like that term, and the picks and the shuffles, I heard that quite often. And but Yeah, it's true. So we are powering and driving the worldwide sports betting industry. Same like we power scoreboards, statistics for many of the biggest media brands around the globe. And you always see it when you're looking on those things. Looking to sports betting, the data business per se is at the moment the primary market in the US. But soon when we see the pickup of live betting, you will see that it gets more into the products. And with product, I mean, you have the live data, you have it super, super fast, but then you need to have a prediction. You need to have that prediction every second. What is the next point? What is the chances of a team to win? What is the distance? And that is a preposition which we calculate every second. For this, you need machines. You teach that machines. When the machines are taught well, then they compile this by themselves. That's called artificial intelligence. But what it's doing is it's giving you a betting line, and our clients can make a transaction with this. That's a very valuable product for us, and the earnings are significantly higher than purely only the live data, which is the basis. And the next step is then the trading. Sports betting is not a game of chance or luck. It's purely mathematics. You're looking to the distribution, you're looking to the potential match outcome, and then you're assuming what is your client betting on which side, and you change the prices with this. We have a risk management platform for this, and that again gives us much higher earnings. That's the reason why I said before, I'm looking forward to the live betting. So that is something where the fun really begins.
That's awesome. So, again, as a huge sports fan, one of the things I love is the bowl season. And I saw that Sportradar signed a deal with the bowl season for commercial opportunities. So how could something like this take Sportradar beyond just being kind of known as a data company?
Yeah, look, it's on the very beginning. So first, for the bowl season, I love the guys. So I think they're doing a phenomenal job. And it's really hard work. When they explained to me where they travel to all that different destinations in a short time frame, I liked that a lot and said, okay, what can we do to really make this more popular and make it and add some betting opportunities and create a product out of this which is fitting for the organizer. And the first thing was integrity. So they said to me, look, when we are offering sports betting, we must make sure that the integrity of the game is guaranteed, that you monitor this, that you see betting behaviors which are not normal. So that was the first thing when we talked about it. And as you know, we have a world-class integrity monitoring service. So we are monitoring all betting patterns around the world. We are using then frames to say, okay, there is something which is inconsistent. If that is inconsistent to a pattern, we are analyzing this, saying, okay, there might be a potential manipulation. And the system is called UFDS, which is the worldwide leading system for integrity. That was the starting point, talking with them. And now we're slowly beginning to introduce it to the sports betting market. We are coming up with some nice visualizations, scoreboards, statistics, but also with the betting opportunities. And that's the first season where we do it now.
Love that. So Sportradar has over 1,600 customers, over 120 countries. You're an official partner of the NBA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, UEFA, FIFA, ICC, and ITF. Can you talk a little bit about any other sports or leagues that Sportradar, has recently partnered with or is looking at without maybe giving too much away here?
Well, I think I will fill the whole evening if I'm talking about this, because we have 90 sports and we have more than 300 sport partnerships. And if I extend this to esports, we might end up at 500 plus. So let me talk about the strategy which we have behind it and where we are very proud of. So we decided we have 8 key sports. That is, of course, football or soccer, like we call it in Europe. That's the biggest betting sport worldwide. Probably 50% of all the handle is the bets accepted, is coming from this sport. With tennis, you named ITF. That is our big partner in tennis since 10 years. We relonged and extended this contract. And that's a very deep relationship. So we provide scores to the umpires on the chairs, so they score with our applications. We provide all the logistics within the stadium. And you see their scoreboards, it's powered by Sportradar. And we provide there the complete streaming service for the matches, and we enrich it with data. So that partnerships go very deep. If you ask me about where I'm especially proud on is our development in cricket. Cricket is a super, super exciting sport, and it's played 5 days in a row. It's the best live betting sport in the world, and it's the number 3 sport worldwide, which people sometimes underestimate. And if I'm thinking about cricket, I'm thinking about India. And India is a market with 1.3 billion people just on the verge to open up from sports betting. And cricket is the absolutely number 1 sport. We signed with the International Cricket Council, which is one of the big 4 in that space. And you will see some more developments there. We do the same like for baseball. We are going really, really deep on this ball spin, speed, all those kind of things. And that's very fascinating.
Yeah, I might have to do some research on cricket. That's a sport I can honestly say I've never bet on. So I might have to do some research so I can get into that market. So
I can give you some guidance, Chris.
Okay, well, we'll have to talk off screen about cricket then. Carsten, I want to highlight the NBA. It was announced, that you have a partnership that begins with them in the 2023-2024 season to go, kind of be on that sports data again. And also we saw the NBA take an equity stake in Sportradar. And I know from previous coverage of Sportradar that Mark Cuban and Michael Jordan are both investors in the company. And Michael Jordan is also an advisor. Can you talk about this dynamic relationship with the NBA and how in a couple of years we could see it, get even deeper down the line?
Yeah, you're well informed, Chris. So the NBA is, I'm sure from my perspective, the most innovative sport league in the world. Technology-wise, second to none. Visionary commissioner who is directing this, and an outstanding team. So that is a perfect set for a technology company like us. And that was from the very beginning very stimulating to speak with them. Looking now to the footprint, the NBA is the only truly global sport league in the US. They're driving more than 2 billion eyeballs worldwide. Of course, a big piece of this is China, but it's a truly international sport. We are a truly global company. We have offices in 30 countries of the world, in 5 continents. So there's a strong fit. What will you see? You will see that we are going with the data. We are already super, super fast. We can reduce this, and we are working very hard on this. We will consolidate this. We will consolidate the data stacks in the arenas, that we validate this quicker and that we have a lower latency. We are good on this, but we will improve it. Looking now how deep the data is, you will see a lot of innovations in the next years to come. That's the reason why we said to the NBA, let us work together. We let them participate with an equity stake. That's the best what we can do with the most innovative league in the world. But then let us work on how can we collect super, super deep data, and how do we match the two, the fast and the deep, together into an immersive experience. That means how can we visualize the sport in a better way? How can we do dedicated for the digital sport fan a product which he wants to have at the special moment in time on a special channel? And we are using technology for this. We are using a lot of our products for this. We're doing this already with a product which we call Ads, which is doing advertising or programmatic advertising. We understand the sport fan. We know he's a Lakers fan. We know he's a LeBron fan, so we can push him much better information, and we will do this live. And we will use whatever is popular with the digital sport fan. Metaverse is a big buzzword for this, but the data is the origin. And that's very simple. It's super, super fast and super, super deep. It sounds like an easy exercise, but there's quite some technology behind it.
Love it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump on in here. And whenever I hear programmatic advertising, that's been a term that I've been really like a buzzword since 2020 that is really a focus of mine. So I need to look more deeper into that. But let's talk about the United States segment growth here in the fourth quarter, increasing by 92%. And as we see the growth continue to, state by state, I always say it hits the bottom line. What are ways that you guys are looking to expand in the services to capture more revenue here?
Look, the regulation is providing us a very favorable tailwind. We have 23 states at the moment online, and there is still a way to go. And very, very big states are still up to come. So that is purely by regulation. That is very much in our favor. And on a yearly basis, we had 108% growth last year, 92%, like you said, in the quarter. So that demonstrates this, I think. Looking now to the real accelerator, the real kicker, that is undoubtedly live betting. Live betting is so much more valuable for us. From a data perspective, we might get a 2% for the data from a revenue share. If we are putting the prepositions on top of it, that doubles. If we are doing the risk management, that doubles again. If we're doing the platform, that gets us into the range of 13, 14% from a revenue share. And our clients are profiting for this because we are managing the product more efficiently and to their needs and satisfying all the various tasks what the sports bettor might expect from a good platform or from a trading environment. So there is so much things to go, and the market is growing. So that's how we see the picture. And if I may, I can add one aspect which we see, especially in the US, that's the player-related information. So US sport fans are very deep in the sport, like you guys. Super interested in deep player-related data, and that is for the future. I think that's an unlocked big revenue potential. So what we will see is that this is matching together the super deep player-related data and the enthusiasm for sports betting. So that will come into immersive experience for the future digital sport fan. That's how we see it.
Yeah, definitely. The ecosystem just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We're seeing new medias coming out, even just on YouTube. You see so many sports shows coming on out, and a lot of that's going to rely on the data behind the leagues. Let's go ahead. Let's get into one area where I definitely am impressed, and got to say that I like the way you handled was during the pandemic. You quickly pivoted, not only saving your employees, but also creating new business products. I did see you guys go into esports. How will Sportradar continue to tackle the esports industry? And is there any thing that we should kind of look out for? I know that you guys did a lot from FIFA, but anything else we can expect?
Well, of course, this is a very stable channel for us meanwhile. And as you know, during the pandemic, we said, well, what should we do? No NBA matches played. So let's use our system. Let's use our data, which we have about the players, and then feed the players like an avatar and play around with some lineups, and then use machine learning and finally use AI to find out what team in a simulation is doing better with the player strengths. And that worked out quite well. So we called it simulated reality in the pandemic times. And the prediction was quite precise. So we could predict the top 5 teams. So not everything was exactly in a row, but it was amazingly precise with those simulations. That shows you how powerful data is already. Looking now to esports specifically, that is a category which will see a lot of innovation. So it's not traditional sports betting. It's not the people for traditional sports betting. It is another generation, and it needs a lot of communication. It needs a different interaction. It needs a different front end. It needs a different way how to communicate it. But undoubtedly, it's a big betting sport. And there is a long way to go and a lot of increases. What we try to do is that we are always looking to esport events which are close to the sport. We see that this is at the moment better adapted, but undoubtedly there are huge chances in the future if you crack that DNA of saying, what kind of environment do I need to provide that I make this a betting experience? And here we are in the very beginning.
Sounds interesting. Definitely to learn a little bit more about a future growth driver. Let's take a look now. Baseball, finally, lockout done. I'm super excited looking towards opening day. Tell me how Sportradar works with MLB to kind of provide them data.
So from the MLB, it's already a long-term cooperation which we have with them. We get all the sensoric information. So we have the trackball, we see the ball spins, we see the speed, we can predict what is the hit rate in there. So it's a sport which is same as cricket, a super live betting sport. And that's what we want to make in this season. So we want to visualize this. We want to make it more interactive, more stimulating. Of course, everything what we do is for our bookmaker partners. So we are powering this experience, and we're having some great new product sets around that visualization and giving some more betting opportunities around this.
All right, I'm going to give you one last one. I know you've had a busy day. Thank you for coming on here on Benzinga. How could media rights deals with streaming companies like Apple, Netflix, Amazon, how could these be leading to other use cases with the data that you guys have?
That's a very exciting question for the future. So when I was talking with one commissioner, he was asking me, what do you think where this all will go and how that is connected together? I think the digital experience with an OTT streaming platform enriched by the data is the future. So we will see customized views on the sport. We will see that this is enriched with data, and it is done in the way that the user gets what he wants. So we will know what the user wants to have. And this cooperation with the big digitals might lead in the future also into sports betting opportunities on these platforms. At least that's our vision. And we think we can power this. But from a network perspective, of course, the big digitals will always have these broadcasting rights. But there is an interactive function which is doing sports betting and which is giving you the data points behind it to make this much more exciting.
Well, I know I'm not the only one that's been enjoying this conversation. I know Chris has been enjoying this conversation, and thank you for joining us here. We look forward to watching the kind of continued growth, not only in the leagues, but also the data behind it, the thing behind the thing. So thank you for joining us here, Sportradar CEO, guys. And Chris, any final words?
No, Carsten, thank you so much. We love hearing all that information. And, again, the thing behind the thing and how Sportradar is helping these companies. And I mean, that conversation about sports media that you just answered, that's got me excited for the future as a sports fan. So my hat is off to you.
Look, we are all big sport fans. Thanks for having me, guys. And I hope we soon have the chance to talk again about
Definitely. And we got to talk about cricket. Don't forget.
I will teach you.
Gonna learn. Thank you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Chris, for joining me here on Money Mitch. One of the things that I want to do more is bring Chris back. I got to do some more interviews with my man, Chris. I think we have a great vibe. I hope you guys enjoyed today's interview. And please do us a favor. If you're a big Sportradar fan, hit the share button and share it with all the SRAD investors and fans out there so they could check out this interview. I thought we asked some great questions, and thank you for coming and joining me, Chris.
Of course. My pleasure, Mitch, anytime. And I mean, yeah, this was a fun one. Company we've been talking about, since last year. And I really love getting this insight. And again, stock market reacting positive to those earnings today. So nice to see out there as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, you could take a look from the drive today. Definitely, I don't think they were mad about their earnings, and you can hear it in the confidence there in the CEO. Definitely confident. And one of the things that I think is really helping too, their second driver revenue, MLB. So many people were worried about a lockout. And
yeah, I caught an interview a little bit.
If you looked at Carsten, you know what Carsten said? I'm not worried. 100% this is coming back, man. And maybe we should have been paying attention to him instead of paying attention too much about the MLB lockout. But you guys can see it there. SRAD pushing. We'll continue to watch this and appreciate you guys for joining us. That's going to do it for us today on Money Mitch. Until next time, guys, catch us tomorrow on live trading. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. And Chris, we'll have you back on, man.
See you, everyone.
See you next time, guys.